Alright guys, so we got today a special video we're going to be doing for our new prototypes that we're testing for the D2S. Pretty much this is an Infiniti G37 and it uses projector HID housings. So we're going to be replacing the HID from this factory vehicle to the aftermarket Lasfit D2S Pro. Okay, so let's light them up and show you how it looks. Okay, so let's show the. So this is what you got, okay? As you can see, it's kind of greenish because it's warming up. So that's one of the problems with HID, that it takes a while for it to fully give you the proper lighting. So it is something like you gotta wait in your car while it's idling, get yourself ready, and then finally you get the actual light that you need to drive with. As you can see, it went from greenish to like the yellowish white. So let's see if I can get a little better. There you go. So it looks like that's where it's gonna end up at. So it doesn't have that yellow whitish kind of color. So we're gonna be replacing that with the new 6K white or 6,000 Kelvin color D2S, okay? So let's get that started. We'll take everything apart, the bumper, we'll get the headlights out, and I'll show you the process of how easy the new models are gonna be to install into these type of vehicles, okay? So let's get down to it. All right guys, so before we get started, tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a clip remover or trim remover. You're gonna need either a power socket or a mechanical one like this one. 10 millimeter extensions, long and short, and a flathead to pop out the little push clips as well, because some of these are stubborn, and with these, because it's a bit thicker, it won't go all the way in. So get it up with this and then just pop them out with that. On this specific vehicle, it actually had some quick release hex nuts or bolts on it, so you're gonna need one of those, but for your vehicle you probably won't need it, so I'm just showing you in case you have that. Other than that, that's pretty much all you need. So to get to it now, we're gonna start taking stuff apart, and I'll be showing you how to do that right now. So now that we have the tools shown, let's get to it. All right, so I already got started on it, so I don't have to make this a long video, but pretty much it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Originally they should all be push clips, but they replaced 2 on each corner with those hex nuts. Okay, so once you remove those, you're done right there. And then at the bottom, okay, the actual bottom of the bumper, along the edge, not sure if you can see that, probably not, but there's going to be another 10 millimeters down here, which would be these ones right there. Okay, and then on each corner at the end you're going to have another 10 millimeter. So they're going to go one here and one on the other side. Okay, so once you remove all of those, you're actually going to notice that it's going to start to hang. So you want to work quick. You want to pull this from the side, okay, the liner. Just pull out. This one, since it's been worked on before, it was actually pretty easy to pull out. So I recommend maybe using like one of those plastic flat trim removers. Just lay it in between here and just start prying it out. There's a couple, let's see if I can get that. Okay, you kind of see the hole right there, but there's a couple push clips in here too. On this vehicle, they have been removed. So this whole thing has to play due to the car being lowered. So just remember that if it gets a little bit hard to take out, look for those clips. There should be one, or should have been one in there possibly, and maybe another one somewhere around here. So just make sure you keep an eye for that. Don't just try to pull it and break stuff. But once you get that out, you pretty much just pull this out, and you're gonna have a 10 millimeter that holds right here pretty much. Okay, so it's gonna be literally down here, and 10 mil with an extension, and you can get it out, and it'll be on the other side the same way. And at that point, you can see it's already pretty much hanging. This is ready to come off. If you have like this vehicle, if you have fog lights or anything extra that you might have added, make sure that before you pull the actual bumper out, disconnect all that stuff On this one, we're gonna have to just pull the bumper far enough to where I can actually pull out the headlights themselves, because they did some wiring and I don't wanna undo all that wiring. So I'm just gonna pretty much pull out the bumper as far as I can and then just drop it to the ground, and then it should give me enough space to work with to get the screws that go here to pull this out, okay? So I'll get that started and show you how it looks. So we got the headlight out, guys, okay? So this is, for those who might have been skipping, this is a 2013 Infiniti G37 headlight with HID from factory. And pretty much, we already got it out, and we're gonna show you how to install the new D2S Pro, okay? So before I show you the bulb, I'm gonna show you where things are at, okay? So this is gonna be where the actual bulb is at. So if you turn this off, counterclockwise, comes off like that, put it to the side, and that's gonna be your HID connector, and your bulb is gonna be on the other side, okay? Your ballast is right here, okay? On our previous kit, if you wanted to go from HID to LED, you would have to bypass the ballast by disconnecting it right here. This is the actual main harness to the vehicle. So the vehicle powers this and sends power to these things. So when we would say bypass it, you would just disconnect this, and then you would tap into these cables, the ground and power, to power our bulb, okay? But now we've actually made a kit, which is the one we're prototyping today, which is the Lasfit Pro D2S. Okay, so this is pretty much gonna be a direct replacement for the whole HID kit, okay? So we got the driver, which resembles the ballast, but it's not, okay? So this is not a ballast. I actually took out the previous one. Okay, so this is the actual original HID ballast, which I took apart just to see how it is inside. Well, and literally that's what it is, okay? That's the original ballast, okay? And that's how the inside looks, just if you're curious, okay? So, pretty much, it's gonna replace the whole unit, okay? So no more longer, you don't need to do what we used to do where we had to splice cables to be able to get the power to the bulb. You actually have a direct plug now. So you would connect this to the original harness. There you go. And it's a direct plug and play now, okay? So take that off real quick. Put that to the side. And again, guys, this is a prototype, so this might not be the end design. We're still checking, see what is good and what is bad. So for now, this is how it's gonna look. But again, this is a prototype, okay? The final results might be different. So that's gonna be the bulb, okay? So we're gonna put that there to the side and I'll start showing you how to take this apart. Tools you're gonna need is gonna be a Phillips head, okay? A flathead screwdriver as well, and some pliers, okay? The reason why is because we're gonna start here first, remove the actual ballast. It's held on by 3 Phillips heads. Okay, and at this point, it just comes off like that. But before you pull it, you want to disconnect the actual bulb, okay? So it's just to be a twist on, just like that. The actual original HID bulb is in there. It's held down by clips, so just push them in, just like that to release. Grab your bulb. These are still good, but you can kind of see that they're starting to go out. I don't know if you can actually see that in the video, but it's fogging up, and also looks like there's like a burn mark in there, something like contamination. But we'll put that to the side. Okay. And at this point, you should be able to start pulling the actual cable out. And as you can see, you get more play now. And you want to disconnect this part now, okay? This is where you're gonna use this Phillips head, or not the Phillips, but the flathead. Just push in the pin, and it just pops out like that. Just have it there, and then you're gonna have to remove this little plate too, so you can get the whole piece out. Okay, so you're gonna need a tiny Phillips head, a small one. So that lets you remove the whole ballast. Put that to the side. And at this point, there's this little plastic cover in here, okay? It's pretty much just for cable routing or cable management. So it doesn't really serve a purpose in here. I don't really see it do anything special besides just holding the actual cabling, okay? So it's just there loose. So there's nothing really holding it. So we're gonna remove that plate as well, okay? But to do that, you wanna pull some cable, and there's actually another clip in here. I'm not sure if you can see it, that white one right there. So that plastic clip, you're gonna want to pretty much unclip that first, and that will set free the actual plate. So I'm gonna use the needle nose pliers. Put it in here. And just like that, it has been released. Another thing you can do too is you can actually set free this plate right here, which pulls the cable on the other side. And then just carefully guide it over here. And it comes out just like that, okay? So there's an actual skinny part. There's two ways you can get this out. You can either get it while it's in here. You can try to align it to make it go like this. So when you pull it out, you just pretty much pull it like that. Or you can do like I did. You gotta get it as straight as possible and line it up. This one was right here, this opening right here, and this opening right here, okay? Once you line it up, it'll literally just slide right through there, and you just pull it out, okay? At that point, you just put that aside. And for anyone who might be interested in using our current bulb that's out right now for the D2S, please don't cut here. Don't cut this part, because this is actually just the connector to the HID bulb. This will not power our light, and if you do tap into this, there's a chance you will short out our bulb because it's going to receive more voltage than it can handle, okay? So we'll just put that to the side. And at this point, you're pretty much ready to install the bulb. So what you're gonna do, let me take off my gloves. You wanna install this piece first, okay? And we're gonna be reusing the actual O-ring. Once we release our complete set, or when we have the finished product, we'll actually provide our own rings. So you don't have to use the original ones, but it's nice to keep these just in case. So install that like that. You're gonna route the cable over here. Pause it.
Go.
All right, guys. Real quick, going back one step. I accidentally grabbed the one from the actual cover that covers the headlight. We need the one from the actual ballast. Okay, so remove the one from the ballast. That's the one we're gonna be using, and you're gonna notice it's gonna be fit snug. All right. That's what you want. The other one was loose, so make sure you get the one from the Ballast. At this point, continue with install. Run the longest wire in. Line up the actual driver, just like that. Direct fit. Okay. And then at this point, you can put your screws on it to lock it in place. And please don't over tighten. Once you feel like it's not spinning no more, that's all you have to do. You don't want to strip the plastic. Okay. So there it is. It's sealed, so you don't have to worry about getting any water in there. Okay. Just like the OEM. And then now we get to the actual bulb. So the way you're gonna put this, you actually gotta remove the base first, which is just a twist on, just like that. Put the bulb to the side. You install this piece first, so you can lock it. Okay, just like that. It only has one way it can go, okay? There's actual notches on here that line up to this. Once it's lined up, you can lock it in place. Okay, it's locked. Connect your bulb. Also with the bulb, there's an actual guide pin right here, if I can pull this down. I don't know if you can see that, but there's an actual pin, a black pin right here that's gonna line up to this hole up here. Okay, so you don't put it backwards. At that point, lock it together. Okay. And you want to install your bulb, okay? So there's actual notches right here, as you can see on the bulb. So you can see that right there. It has to match those little guides in here, okay? So once you put it in, you see how it goes all the way in? It's actually flat. Then at this point, just twist and it locks, okay? So you're pretty much done here. Now you just put your cap back on. Don't forget to put your seal on. There you go, it's locked in place. And at this point, it's ready to install, okay? So all you gotta do is connect this, don't forget to connect it. Just like that. There you go. So at that point, you're done. You can put the headlight back in place and light it up. Okay. So while we're here also, I might as well take the time to show you also our turn signals. So if you want to replace the turn signal, it's going to be this one right here, which is the 7443. All right, guys. So we tested our light. We know everything's working. We're gonna start putting everything back together. So just real quick, we'll show you. I'll speed it up so you guys can see all the process. But one thing I want to mention on the driver's side, you do have your hood latch cables right here. Okay. So before you put the headlight back in place, make sure you lock that right here. Okay, that goes right here. So I'm gonna put that in first, just like that. Make sure everything lines up. There's an actual clip right here that has to line up with the hole that goes right there on the fender. There's also going to be another one inside here, but you'll notice it because there's an actual, so you can see it from here. Let me get the light real quick. Pretty much, you should be able to see it right a little bit more down. Okay. You see that hook over here, right there, where my finger's pointing at? There's an actual black bar right there. That's where the actual headlight lines into. Okay, right there. So you want to make sure when you, it's easier to see when you're putting in the headlight. Just want to make sure that it lines up in there in that square hole. And that's pretty much just a guide to keep it lined up, all right? All right, guys, so we got here the headlight already installed. We're doing the passenger side now because we already finished the driver's side. And we're just testing it to show that it's working. You might notice there's a dark spot right there, right in the center. Well, that's actually the shadow projection of the actual bumper. I'll show you in a bit that the bumper is laying in front of the headlight, so that's why you're seeing this shadow right here. Okay. But the main concern here is that as long as the bulb is installed correctly, which is in this position, okay, with this slope pointing downwards and the chips facing 9 and 3 o'clock position, your light pattern will be perfect. So we got this vehicle completed. We did the turn signals with the switchback T7443s, as you can see right now. Okay. And then we did the conversion from HID D2S to the new Lasfit prototypes Pro D2s. Okay. See right there. Just a comparison between the HID and LED. If you can turn off real quick. One more time. It's instant start on, so you don't have to wait for it to warm up. It is instant. Also, we got the turn signals active now. One more time, demonstration of the wall. See if we can get the light to show up correctly. The camera's just not picking it up well, but you got your cutoff line all the way around. And pretty much good, guys. Everything was plug and play. If you guys have any questions, concerns, feel free to let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you for watching.